Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I will be telling you all about some of my favorite book series. So it's been a little while since I last filmed a video about any of my favorite series or anything like that, so I felt like it was almost time to just do a video like this again. I'm not even sure when it was, when was the last time I even did something like this. I don't know, but anyway, so I'm going to talk about a few series that are finished, that I've read the whole thing of, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of series that are still going. First, I have the Atom Trilogy by Margaret Atwood. These are actually some of my favorite books in the whole wide world. So they've basically been my favorite books for like the past more than a decade, actually. So Oryx and Crake is the first book, and I have read it like 4 times. I just finished a reread of this book, and yeah, it's ridiculous how many times I've read this book, and I've taken it in so many places with me that this copy is so torn up. And then The Year of the Flood is the second book, and Mad Adam is the third book. I don't have a copy of it currently, but I'm going to get one because I'm going to reread the whole series very soon, since I just reread this one, and I'm just in the mood to reread the whole thing. So anyway, this is a series all about basically a post-apocalyptic slash dystopian society. So it starts off with a dude who believes himself to be the only person, the only human still living in a post-apocalyptic world after his supposed best friend turned enemy has basically killed everyone, pretty much. And the whole rest of the story is basically told in flashback to basically from his childhood all the way up to what happened. And it's a really clever, totally genius dystopian society where it's just really well thought out and really, really great. The second book, we kind of follow different main characters in sort of a different flashback scenario that's tied together with the first book, and then the third book it all kind of comes together. So anyway, it's a really, really good series, so genius, definitely Margaret Atwood's best work by far, and I absolutely love the crap out of it. The next finished series that I'm going to talk about is the Queen's Thief series by Megan Wallen Turner. This is throwing off my white balance. Whoops, sorry, I look like a really sepia tone right now. But anyway, so this is actually the third book and my favorite one in the series, but the series is it's 6 books total. The 6th one just came out. It is actually on my shelf right there. So anyway, so this follows a thief who basically ends up marrying a queen and has to figure out if he's king or not, and then all this other stuff happens. The last 3 books kind of follow different perspectives, but every single one is, you know, genius in its own way, but also very different. And just the writing and the sort of just the plot and the writing just is so genius, and it's such an interesting kind of ancient worldy society that Megan Wallen Turner has come up with, and I absolutely love the crap out of it. I don't know anyone who's read this series who doesn't like it. I think like it's just a really, really good series all around, and I absolutely love it. And where would I be if I didn't mention the Song of the Lioness quartet? So I love Tamara Pierce's books overall. I've been reading her books since I was 10, but really the Song of the Lioness quartet is where it's at for me. I love it to pieces. So it's basically just about this girl who wants to be a knight, so she switches places with her brother because he doesn't want to be a knight. He wants to go learn magic, and she doesn't want to go and be a lady in finishing school. She wants to go and be a knight, so they switch places essentially, and everything it's crazy from there. Next couple of books here are actually series that are not yet completed. They are still going, or at least one, I think they're both still going. But anyway, so firstly we have the Green Rider series by Kristen Britton. This is a book that the 7th book, or whichever one we're on now, is actually coming out later this year in September, and I am so excited. I am counting down the days. It's ridiculous how excited I am for the next book in the series. But anyway, so this series is about this girl who becomes a green rider, which is basically a messenger for the king who has to like deliver very important messages, and it's a very dangerous job, and she gets into all kinds of like horrible situations, and she ends up saving everyone's lives like 10 zillion times, and it's ridiculous. And there are a lot of characters in this. It's a whole lot of fun. There are a lot of like horrible situations that the characters get into, and it's ridiculous. And finally, the last one I'm going to talk about today is the Mist-Torn Witches series by Barb Hendy. So this is actually the third book, which is my favorite one in the series, but the first one is just called the Mist-Torn Witches. But anyway, it's basically about these two sisters who one of them can see people's futures and the other one can see people's pasts, and they use those abilities to figure out things that are going on. And so the first couple of books are fairly episodic, but then this third one really gets into like really the whole plot as a whole starts to build up, and we really start kind of getting a sense of like who the bad guys are, like what's actually going on, all of that. And then the fourth one kind of just went downhill from there again. It became a really episodic book again. And not only that, but we got like most of the book was random people's flashbacks who are not the main characters and whatnot. And it dealt with like a plot again that didn't really matter as much in the grand scheme of things again, and so I felt like that one was almost a step back. And then we've gotten no more books in the series for like 4 or 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. And that makes me sad because they were coming out every year, basically, and then all of a sudden no more of them came out, and that made me really sad. I don't know if or when this series is continuing, if maybe she just kind of gave up on it because she's writing so many other series. I have no idea, but maybe one day she'll pick it back up and we'll get more books in the series. I don't know. So anyway, those are the books that I'm going to talk about today. These are some of my favorite series that I really, really recommend and I think are so good. So anyway, please check them out. If you've read any of these, have any thoughts on them, let me know in the comments. Let me know what some of your favorite series are as well, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!